Injuries are the worst. It's one thing about this game that you can never be sure about in predicting how a season is going to go. So I'm sure, as most of you have seen by now, it was reported by Shams Charania that Patrick Williams has an acute bone edema, whatever that is, not even sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but he will be sidelined and reevaluated in 2 weeks, which does not mean he'll be returning to the court in 2 weeks, but he'll be resting and rehabbing during that time and will be reevaluated and assessed how much more recovery time is going to be needed at that point. Casey Johnson reported this likely will mean that Pat is going to be out through the All-Star break and miss 8 games in total. Just a big blow to the Bulls and Patrick Williams. I know some Bulls fans will say, well, whatever, Pat's been trash, we don't need him. If anything, he was hurting us. Nah, Pat was actually progressing and playing well until he came back after missing a few games, and now it's looking more clear that he was brought back too early, which explains his poor play during those few games where he was back. Now, I mean, the biggest challenge with this, even if you're a Pat fan or not, the Bulls lose yet another forward in a guard-heavy lineup. The Bulls starting lineup the other night against the Blazers featured 4 guards and Vucevic. Missing a big-bodied player who can defend well, spread the floor, and hit threes is a big lift for the Bulls that they're most certainly going to miss. Now, luckily, it's only for a few weeks, not like this is a season-ending injury, but I would be lying to myself if I didn't think that this injury might be worse than the Bulls are letting on. The organization hasn't really given us a lot of reasons to trust them in being transparent and open when it comes to player injuries like we saw throughout the whole Lonzo Ball saga. But my hope is it's not something more serious that is going to take much longer than initially anticipated, because what you don't want to happen is to have this impact Pat's development and overall growth, which, let's be fair, hasn't been much, but we were seeing strides in the right direction when Lavine was first out of the lineup and again before they brought Pat back prematurely. He was playing with more confidence, more aggression, shooting the ball much better, was rebounding better, attacking the rim, all that stuff that you want to see from your young player. I will say, the one silver lining in all this is a big opportunity for Julian Phillips. He's the next man up. We've been talking about how we want to see more minutes from him, give him minutes to work on his game and develop for the 20-year-old. He's going to be getting more minutes now. Had a great game in Portland, 11 points in 23 minutes, was active on both ends of the floor, brought energy and hustle. So while it's unfortunate to lose Pat like this, and hopefully he has a speedy recovery because the Bulls are going to need him for the season-ending push, when a door closes, another one opens for a young prospect, and I think Phillips has a ton of potential that you have to nurture and work on by getting him some minutes, which he's now going to get. Anyway, quick video. I actually had an earlier video drop this morning on Nikola Vucevic before the Patrick Williams news broke, so check that out in case you missed it. Wanted to share my thoughts on the news regarding Patrick Williams. Let me know what you guys think and how you're feeling. Let me know in the comments. As always, be sure to subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.